I live on the edge of a Suffolk grazing common. You approach the garden and the house down a bumpy track across the common, over a moat. It's a moated common. There's a walnut tree and an ash tree, both of them big and happy trees. And I always think of them as sort of guardians standing over the house. This is my post box. I always know when the posts arrive because I hear the clunk. It's an old bread bin and it lives in the tractor shed. Geoffrey Bernard had an interesting trick when he lived in Suffolk. He always used to get a lift in the mornings when the post came down to the pub with the postman. He liked to get there for opening time. He would then write himself a postcard and post it, just to be certain the postman would come next day and give him his lift back to the pub. There are 4 meadows here really, and a wood, a small wood. They're really like rooms. I mean, when I go into them, there's a feeling that they're enclosed by the tallness of the hedges. And they're thick and dark. When the birds are all singing in the early morning, I mean, you really do have a sense of being in a big arena. The song almost echoes around the meadow. I suppose I think of my place, and all these places, much more as clearings than anything else, but this is what you call the garden and what you would call the lawn. It's not a tightly trimmed lawn, it is cut, but the grass is deliberately long. It's good for the frogs and the voles and everything else that lives in the grass. You cross the lawn from the house looking south to the moat, which is the same length as the house, about 33 yards long, 20 feet wide, 11 feet deep, and it's got a spring in one end, so the water's good. This is where I come to do some thinking. The idea is you come in here and, like Archimedes, you have an idea and you shout Eureka, and then you go and scribble it down on a sort of papier-mâché notepad on the bank. I swim breaststroke because I don't want to disturb things too much. I'm swimming with a lot of other creatures in here. Newts, frogs, damselflies at the moment. And the perspective from down here is terrific. Seeing the dragonflies swooping overhead. They often just land actually on my head, literally. They're quite unconcerned. One of the great delights is to put a mask and snorkel on and duck underwater. It's extraordinary what you see in an English moat. There's the home meadow immediately to the south of the house, and then that leads into cow pasture meadow, and that in turn leads into the long meadow that might once have been a sort of archery butts or something like that. I like to think that that's pure romance. And then